Okay. Roll call. Here. Word's too short. How's this? Okay. Do we have any conflict of interest statements? Do we have approval of the minutes of the September 12th meeting? I don't think anyone had a chance to review them. Did they? I did. We'll defer action on the minutes. First order of business is a bid opening of the Monon Bike Trail Bridge Project, Gregory Avenue in Munster to Southmore Road in Hammond. We have 5 bids. The first bid is from Dyer Construction Company Incorporated, 1716 Sheffield Avenue, Dyer, Indiana. That Mr. Lendy has arrived, and I'll turn the gavel over to him. We're in the process of opening bids. They have their bid bond. They have their Form 96 filled out. And they have their non-inclusion affidavit. Their bid is $571,021.45. Next bid is from Gary Up Construction Company Incorporated, P.O. Box 64879, Gary, Indiana. Bid bond, they have their Form 96, and they have their non-inclusion affidavit. Their bid is $620,000. Next bid is from Hassey Construction Company Incorporated, Lincoln and Plummer Avenue, P.O. Box 300, Calumet City, Illinois. You have their bid bond. They have their Form 96. And they have their non-inclusion affidavit. Their bid is $671,000. Next bid is from Reith Riley Construction Company Incorporated, 7500 West 5th Avenue, Gary, Indiana. They have their bid bond, they have their Form 96, and they have their non-inclusion affidavit. Their bid is $682,246.78. The final bid is from Superior Construction Company Incorporated. Doesn't have the address on the front. Here in Gary, Indiana. have your bid bond. They have their Form 96 filled out, and they have their non-inclusion affidavit. Their bid is $547,295.17. I'd like to make a motion these be referred to the consultant engineer for tabulation and recommendation.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item B, we have a coordination contract with the state for the reconstruction of Kennedy Avenue.
We received a federal grant for this project. We're looking at constructing it next year. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the agreement with the state of Indiana.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye, motion carries. Item C, we have contract with BLN Engineering for supervision of the two bike trail bridges, pedestrian bike trail bridges.
Yeah, it's the one that crosses Columbia Avenue and 167, and also the one that crosses 165th over at Lyman. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the consultant agreements.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item D, we have a contract with First Group Engineering for lighting and design of several areas in the 4th District in the amount of $78,800.
Yeah, it's four streets for lighting design and one street for reconstruction. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the agreement with First Group.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Out of order. No. Item E, we have a change order on the Indianapolis Boulevard reconstruction project.
Total of all change orders until today. This change order for $7,425, and it's for the replacement of sanitary manhole castings. They were left out of the project. The thought was that they were going to reuse the ones, but they're all in really bad shape. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve it.
Second. All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item F, we have correspondence from CAR Tuck Pointing.
I spoke to the gentleman from Carr. He's going to be doing tuck pointing on St. Joe's Church in downtown Hammond. He's going to have to block the sidewalk in front of the church to set up his equipment. He's going to be doing this starting about September 30th, and completion will be October 4th. He's going to barricade the area and close the sidewalk on that side while he's working. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the closure of that right-of-way for that work.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item G, we have a correspondence from Reicheld Plumbing requesting the closure of 121st Street from 8 until 2 p.m. at some point next week.
Yeah, it's actually going to be on October 2nd. He called this morning and said he's planning on doing October 2nd. Unless the weather is bad, then he'll be doing it on October 3rd. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve their road closure.
Second. All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item H, we have correspondence from AT&T requesting permission to dig.
Yeah, this is on Woodmar Avenue. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the digging request.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item I, we have a proposal from Tarenga Surveying for surveying work at 649 to 51 Conkey Street. It's a not to exceed contract in the amount of $18,000. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item J, we have correspondence from the Hammond Department of Environmental Management. It's an agreement for monitoring services
Yes.
on White Oak Avenue.
They have a pipeline through that area. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the license agreement.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item K, we have a certificate of delivery and acceptance from Diversity.com that has not been reviewed yet by our city attorney. Is there a motion to table this?
So moved. Second.
Mr. President, I have reviewed it, but I don't agree with the terms of it yet. It says that we've had a new system installed and everything's working hunky-dory, and we have a new system installed, but I can't attest to the hunky-dory part yet.
Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item is tabled. Item L, we have several assets of the police department submitted for disposal.
Make a motion that we approve their request.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item M, we have several properties for status of demolition. 6633 Alexander.
All right, Mr. President, prior to starting those, there's just a couple I wish to address with the board that didn't make the agenda. I will put it in my summary. 1143 Summer, the Askews were here. They are making progress. We've continued it till January 30th, 2014. 1107 Wilcox, this is a brand new matter that will probably be heard on October 17th. The owner of the Webb Street property, Ms. Sorensen, was here. She just wants to know when her property is going to be demolished, as today was the day she had the very last day to make repairs, which have not been made. And 7514 Columbia, Gary Matthews was here. And on that property, I do have an agreement to rehabilitate, which has been executed by all parties.
Is there a motion to approve the agreement 7514 Columbia?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, Mr. President, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Is anybody here on Alexander?
Hi, how are you? Robert Sorge on behalf of the Alexanders, our McMahons.
And Robert Krasinski on behalf of Wells Fargo Bank, the mortgage holder.
Expecting my client to be here today. They're not here. I just got a message from them yesterday, but the message was that they had paid the demolition fee and were trying to get an inspection and haven't got an inspection yet. I can't I don't have anything.
Mr. President, I can confirm that they have paid for an inspection, but it has not yet been scheduled. So I would just ask if we could set this over until January the 30th, 2014.
Make a motion that we move it to January 30th, 2014.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
14.
I see.
5502 Alice.
All right, Mr. President, on this one, Justin Murphy had previously represented the owners. They
Is any,
had-
hold on. Anybody here on 5502 Alice? Can you come forward, please?
He withdrew. A letter had been sent at the last hearing, this was set in June. We had indicated that the owners were to get an inspection. I sent a reminder letter of this 1 month before today's date in August that they were to get an inspection. They are not on my inspection list. There's been no progress on the property, and I would like to show you some photographs of the property and ask that the order to demolish be entered. First, I'm going to show these. Ma'am, what's your name? What?
Carol,
Carol what?
I live in the house.
Okay,
Well,
well,
we have been working on the house. He did the stairs, and he's gonna do the garage.
did you pull any permits for this work?
For the stairs?
Well, for whatever work you did, there's requirements for permits. Does it still look like this?
No, we don't.
What's different?
The front steps,
Do you own the house?
the house. Excuse me?
Do you own the house?
No, Steve does, but he had given me the house
I
about a
can't hear
year
you.
ago.
Mr. President, nobody's living here because the water has been off since
The
April
water's on.
of 2011.
The water is on.
All right, I'm going to show the board these pictures.
Ma'am, we can't hear you. Do you own the house?
No, Steve does, but he gave it to me
Who-
a few
who is-
years back.
Who is Steve?
He's my boyfriend. He gave it to me.
Do you have a transfer deed?
I have just, the lease, that's all he wrote on there.
I'm sorry, what was your name again? Because you're not on the...
Carol Teets.
Can you spell your last name?
Tietz.
All right, because I show, the title work shows Steve Skirmont is the
Right.
owner. Well, your name's not on the property. Is your name on the property in the Orwell County?
On my lease, he gave it to me.
Well, a lease is a lease. That's
Right.
not a deed.
Right, I know what you're saying.
Okay. Mr. President, you can see the condition of the property is pretty bad, and this woman does not have any proof of ownership.
No.
I would ask that you enter the agreement,
He's been working on the house. But he wanted me to give you this letter, if you can just
Sure.
give it to him.
The building department has no record of any permits being pulled for any repairs. And if this is a rental property, since there's a lease, repairs must be done by permit and contractor.
Read
Or-
it out loud, the letter. Why?
Ma'am, this letter conflicts with your testimony that you own the house. It says specifically here that the gentleman that wrote the letter is the owner of the
Yes.
house who is currently
Right.
trying
He
to
is the
refinance
owner.
or finance the house.
Yes, he's trying to get a loan to fix it up. And he started working on it. He did the steps and he's been doing around underneath the house. And there was one inspector that did come out and he's seen that the stairs were done. No. He just needs more time. He's trying to get a loan to fix the house up.
Where is Steve now?
He's in Indianapolis. He's at work. And he couldn't get up today to come.
Mr. President, if you recall, I did, at the last hearing, give them a continuance, which was in June, and at the time I required an inspection, which has not been performed.
Well, that's what, we didn't know what we had to do. They gave us a whole list of things that had to be done, but we didn't understand that we needed an inspection too. But we got this letter at the last minute. We didn't know. You know, usually they give you a code violation to fix things one at a time, not all of a sudden some court appearance. I've never heard of anything like that.
The date that you received the notice was May 23rd.
Exactly, but
Right,
that was a
today's
month
September.
before the date. But we never heard anything before about it. Why at the last minute? Why didn't anybody tell us anything over the years if something had to be fixed or not? I don't get it.
We have proof that the water wasn't turned on for how long, Chris?
The water, at the time of May 23rd, 2013,
But the water is
the
off.
water was off since 2011.
The water was off for 2 years and nobody did anything to the house. I think that's what.
Nobody
raised
was
our
living in the
concern.
house at that time. But the water is on now.
Who turned the water on?
He had it fixed, the pipes.
So the water's off now?
No, it's on. You can come over there, it's on.
I thought they wouldn't turn it back on without an inspection.
They shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of curious how the water got put back on. There's been no permits on this property for any work. There's been no
Well,
inspection.
he didn't know, he had to get a permit just to fix the steps. Or he didn't know nothing. He didn't know what to do. We've been trying though, we've been trying to fix it. Just tell us what we have to do.
No, they have not paid for an inspection.
No, we didn't know we had to do that. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Is there any additional information you'd like to relay to the board relating to the property 5502 Alice?
No,
You have a working furnace in there?
yes, it works.
And you have gas and electric?
Yes, we do.
Well, we've received testimony that she owns the house. We received a letter that somebody else owns the house. We
He
received
owns the
testimony
house.
that the individual that owns the house is working. We have a letter that says the individual that owns the house is not working. So,
A lot of contradictions.
No, it's not that, he owns the house, but he wrote it to me in the lease for me to have it a couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago, it didn't
He's
have
still
any water.
listed as the owner. You don't
Right,
have
right,
any
he never,
documentation
he
that you
never
own
did
it.
anything else, he just wrote it on the lease for me to have the house, and that was a couple of years ago.
Mr. President, I would
We
ask that
never-
you enter the demolition order. This isn't the owner. There's no documentation to support her claims. The owner who claims to be unemployed and can't do the repairs is currently employed in Indianapolis, and the property has had no permits pulled. The water was off for a significant portion of time, during which period she said he gave it to her. And there's been no repairs since we sent them the notice in
We
May.
had
I would just ask you to
did
enter the order,
repairs.
and then they can enter an agreement to rehabilitate when the proper owner appears.
He would have appeared today, but Thursday he goes to Indy and he can't take off. He was laid off all summer. He would have came today. But someone had to come. And we're trying. We really are trying. We did work on that house, and we are still trying. We're trying to get the loan now to fix it up. We just needed someone to help us. We didn't know everything that we had to do. We didn't know we needed an inspection. We just need more time.
Chris, does he own any other homes
You know, Mr. President, I don't know, I just have the title work for this property, and as you can see by looking at it, it's really rough.
Did that gentleman standing there have some comment on this property?
No, it's Mr. Benazzi, he's carrying other stuff.
Make a motion that we affirm the demolition.
And I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Mr. President, we can stay that order if somebody wants to actually call Kurt, get the inspection, and enter the agreement to rehabilitate. Our next date's January, we can set it for
I
schedule.
agree,
He needs
Ms.
to
Ke-
contact code enforcement,
This order-
property owner.
935 Ames.
Mr. President, I do not have shoes here on the file, however, I do. Is anybody present here for Ames?
I am.
No, anybody for the owner, do you own it?
No.
Okay, go ahead, say what you're gonna say, but I just wanna see if the owner is here, go ahead.
This property's been vacant for quite some time in my district, and it's horrible, and it's an eyesore to the community. I would request that this board have this property demoed immediately.
It's demoed already.
Well, yeah, it's sort of fallen on, a tree has fallen on it and squished most of it. Mr. President, we have previously ordered this property demolished. However, if you recall at the last hearing, there was a fellow named Jacob Schenenfeld who showed up. Mr. Schenenfeld was supposed to get an inspection and enter an agreement to rehabilitate. That did not occur. And I would just say if this property has already been bid, we should proceed to demolition. And if it has not already been bid, we can proceed to bid it out. But this property was previously ordered demolished, and it was recorded with the county on July the 10th. We were just, Mr. Schenenfeld had asked for time to make repairs. And I did send him a letter a month ago, which has now become our practice, to remind people of the obligations, and there was absolutely no response to my letter saying you're supposed to enter an agreement or
Is
rehabilitate.
there a motion by the board to order the building department to bid and demolish this property?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. 6916 Bertram. Anybody from 6916 Bertram?
Mr. President, on Mr. Bertram, I have no questions. All right, this one is a bank property. On August 29th, we sent a correspondence to Mr. Worthlin and Sarah Alford, Bank Rome LLP in Cincinnati concerning this property, indicating that their client was to obtain an inspection and enter an agreement to rehabilitate. That has not occurred. This property has previously been ordered demolished. It was recorded on the property on February the 5th, 2013, and I would say that we just proceed to demolish.
Is there a motion to order the building department to bid and demolish this property?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. 7247 Calumet.
Mr. President, if you'll recall, this is a gas station right there in the corner across from the Walgreens. At the last hearing, we had the tax sale purchaser, a fellow named Nick Petrovsky, appeared. And at that time, he indicated he was purchasing the property on tax sale and he wanted to make it into a gas station. And we told him that he needs to clean up the property if he is going to maintain it, or if we're going to wait and not do anything until such time as he gets tax deed. I sent him a letter in August reminding him of that obligation. I went by there this morning. The same pile of garbage that was here at our last hearing is still sitting there. He has not cleaned the property. And at this time, I'm going to present a finding and order to the board.
Are the tanks out of the ground, Chris?
Have the contractor make that investigation with the assistance of HDM prior to demolishing the structure.
Make a motion that we affirm the.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. 4117 Cameron.
All right, where are we on this one? On Cameron, I think.
It's similar to the previous bank property that you had mentioned, where the demolition order had already been entered and you had ordered an inspection. The property is scheduled for sheriff's sale next Friday. Another law firm is handling that. We are just here as far as demolition. Unfortunately, because of bank policies, they don't want to let third parties into the property until they own the property. I know the inspection had been ordered. The bank does not want to allow, or is willing to get the inspection after the fact, but until they're the owner of the property, they don't want to let a third party in. So that's where we stand. I know counsel for the city had sent us a letter advising that the inspection had to be ordered. That's why it hasn't been ordered yet, because they're not the owners, so here we are.
All right, Mr. President, we've previously ordered this property demolished. I think this is the one with the dead animal smell.
Correct.
All right, this was already ordered demolished on February 5th, 2013. It's up to the board what they want to do, if they want to wait until such time. You said the next Friday, is it?
Sheriff's sale is next Friday.
Next Friday?
I got the notice from so yes.
No, I believe it. That's when they do it. It's usually the first Friday of the month. So it's up to the board if they want to set this over till January. Do you know if the bank has any intention of making repairs? I mean,
They would like to make the repairs, but it just, I mean, that's what I've been told. They want to make the repairs, however, they don't want to allow anybody in again until they own it.
And the sheriff's sale, at some point, after,
Following the sheriff's sale, they will be the owner and they will,
I'd like to make a motion that we affirm the demo, but no,
we stay the actual demolition of the property till
stay it till December 1st.
December 1st? Is it going to give you enough time?
don't have to.
That
Okay.
should be enough time to get an inspector in there to give you guys an inspection report, then you can determine whether or not it's going to be feasible to save the structure or not, right?
So if we can get into the property prior to December 1st and get a rehabilitation agreement, we can.
Right, or just basically say thumbs up or thumbs down. Mr. President, just to clarify, is December 1st a Thursday? Okay, could I please have maybe a Thursday, so?
December 5th.
Okay, just in case we need to have the board address anything, it'll be easier to do on a Thursday. Oh, I'm
All in
sorry.
favor? Aye, motion carries. 5536 Claude.
All right, Mr. President. All right, is anybody here for this? Anybody here for this property? All right. Mr. President, this is another instance where we had had a previous hearing and an individual named Russ Cannon had come to the board and asked for time to enter an agreement to rehabilitate and have an inspection. I sent a letter to the individual at the address they gave on August 28, 2013, saying that they must have an inspection and do an agreement to rehabilitate. Of course, that came back because the address he gave us was bad. I've had no other contact with the individual. There's been no work on the property. The water has been off since 11/5 of 2008. And I have an agreement, I'm sorry, there's a cat in the window. I have an order, findings in order that I would ask the board to sign to order the property demolished.
Make a motion that we find the standings in order, demo,
I'll second.
enter. That's what he said.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries. 5712 Erie.
Anybody here for 5712 Erie? No. Appears. All right, Mr. President. Oh, go ahead. Oh. Oh, that's okay. Councilman Higgs is just returning. All right, Mr. President. This is a property that was damaged by fire and was ordered demolished by the board and recorded on July the 10th. The individual who owned the property had indicated that he had insurance. I sent a letter to his insurance agent. I received no response from the insurance agent or from the owner of the property, and the property has not been demolished, and I would ask that you just allow the building department to proceed forward to demolish the property.
a motion that we affirm their order. Make a motion that we order the building department to bid and demolish the property.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. 5735 Erie.
Anybody here for 5735 Erie?
Did they both burn?
All right, Mr. President, this is another case where the person had appeared at last month's hearing and asked for more time because everybody, when they come to the hearing, wants to fix up the property. And then on August 29th, I sent them a letter reminding them of that obligation. It's a fellow named Dennis Richards who lives in Chicago. My letter did not come back. He received it. Property has not been rehabilitated. We've already previously entered a finding and order, and I would just ask that you allow the building department to proceed forward to demolition.
Make a motion that we order building department to bid and demolish the property.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. 7019 Jackson.
All right, now, Mr. President, this is a property that has continued for several months, for several hearings. However, he's now has an attorney, who is Attorney Terpstra, and Attorney Terpstra is asking for some more time. Since this is a new demolition that's not actually had a hearing yet, it's only had continuances, I would ask the board to please allow me to continue this till October the 17th, 2013, which is when we were going to be processing our new demolition files.
Motion that we continue this October 17th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. 4203 Johnson.
My name is Rocky. My son, he wanted therapy.
Hi, my name is Angelo. I'll be interpreting from Spanish to English.
Yeah, okay.
He's the owner of the house at 4202 3 Johnson Street. He coming to court because the house been filed to demolition, which he got a lot of questions about the house being on the demolition since when he bought it, the house wasn't on demolition list, and he wanted to know the causes and what and how the house been through demolition.
I'm sorry, Mr. President, could you please state his name again?
His name is Rocky Bueno. My name is Angelo Bueno.
Okay. All right, Mr. President, they have appeared previously on this file. We did enter a findings and order to demolish on July the 10th. They were sent a letter, Claudia Bueno and Angelo Bueno, on July 1st, 2013, saying that they were to enter an agreement to rehabilitate prior to the hearing date. Has it occurred? Did we do an agreement to rehabilitate? I don't have one in my file. I do have an inspection, but no agreement to rehabilitate.
No, we don't have no agreement. Since we don't know where to go to find out where to do agreement, or that's what my dad asking, where to do agreement, to find out what the house has to be done, and what's the next step to be done after
Chris,
demolition.
is this the house we had a fire in a couple years ago? Was there a fire in this house
That was
A little bit fires
2 years ago?
I think, yeah.
It's on the corner, right?
Yes,
in the corner.
A fenced-in yard?
Yes.
When did he buy the house?
Last year.
Last year.
We had an inspection done, but there's been no agreement to rehabilitate, and more importantly, no actual progress on the property.
There's been no actual progress since we got a permit stamped in front of the door. It's not been done, work done on the house. So we haven't done anything to find out what's the right thing to do and what's the next step to do.
Well, you got the inspection, is that correct?
Yeah, we got
Yes,
the inspection, so we want to find out.
You received an inspection report, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that tells you what needs to be done.
Okay, so he wants to find out if he's able to do the steps to be done in the house and get the house out of demolition, or just gonna
Did you do the
procedure.
No, Mr. Cook performs all the demolition inspections. However, we've received multiple complaints about the condition of the property, especially recently, just general maintenance of the property, overgrowth through the fence. The window, one window is gonna replace the framing is open, so the house has been open for months now, like seconds, nothing's been sealed off.
Yeah, it's been open since and closed, not anything done because we didn't know anything. We just got the demolition inspection done like 2 weeks ago. It just got like a week ago. It took like 3 weeks to get done.
Well, Mr. President, the problem is this property started back in August 21st, 2012. So since this process commenced, an entire year has passed, and it appears we are no further along. I would just ask, since we already have an order to demolish, that we proceed forward to bid and demolish the structure.
So we suggest do the next step to have an agreement and get the house done and fixed with the right solution.
Mr. Cook, you got anything?
In all honesty, the house would cost more to fix up
No, I know there was extensive fire damage. I don't know if there was anything done after that.
No, it partially gutted on the inside, there's foundation problems, wall problems.
Is there a hole in the roof?
Part of the roof was bad, yeah.
Well, then, if it's been sitting there for like a year with a hole in the roof, obviously there's all kind of mold and everything inside of it.
Inspection report was actually requested for by people that were trying to sell the property.
Yeah, because we haven't wanted to sell it, and it's like 2 or 3 people are interested on the house to be sold, which they're willing to fix the house.
How long have you owned the house for?
Like a year.
Why haven't you made any progress on the house in the last 12 months?
Oh, we were started doing it. We came and get some permits to start doing work on it, but it just came to the house and closed it and told us don't do any work. Just wait for court.
Yes.
Just wait for court, and we just be coming to court and nothing. You haven't been understanding anything. Just proceeding next court, next court, which he doesn't get any information where to go and what to do.
President, I sent them a letter in July saying what they need to do. They need to get an inspection and enter an agreement to rehabilitate.
So
I
would you-
write them, they don't have to write them, but they have to come in and say they're going to make repairs in a timely fashion. This is tenanted for a year, it's not set open and vacant. Nowadays, we just proceed forward to bid and demolish.
I'd like to make a motion that we order the building department to bid and demolish the property.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Okay. 935 Michigan.
Yeah. 11.
All right, Mr. President, this is a file that we've continued previously. At the last hearing, Gerardo Rivera appeared, paid for an inspection. It was to be continued. On July 1st, I sent him a letter saying that they were to get an agreement to rehabilitate prior to today's date. There has been no agreement to rehabilitate. The property has not had any repairs made, and I would ask you to please enter the demolition order.
Has the demolition order already been entered?
No, Mr. President, he had, of course, you know, like everybody else, they come in and they're gonna fix it, but when it actually comes time to putting, you know, hammer to nails, that's where it stops.
Got anything? You the owner?
Yes.
Did you get my letter in July?
No.
Where's the address for you?
I've been waiting for the inspector to go, and I've been calling, but until now, he hasn't been to the house.
What is your correct and current address? I sent it to this, it's all we had. Well,
Yes,
okay, well, it didn't come back.
that I never received.
Are you receiving mail there?
Yes.
Is there another address you use?
Oh, no, it's because, I got like 3 mailbox, maybe.
And when we were here last time, he had said that he owned the property for 2 years, and he was told in June 27th that he must pay for an inspection to determine the safety of the building, and it was continued. What mailbox number do I have to put on here so that you get the mail?
Number 2?
This is the one where the front of the building's like ready to fall off, right?
That's correct, Mr. President. We have continued this twice already. We continued it from April to June and from June to today, and it's no better shape than it was when those pictures were taken.
Oh, no, the front, I put new siding because it had brick, and the brick, actually, it had
Put siding over the brick?
no. It had, when I first bought the house, it had brick, but it had like a bump. So finally, it just fell. So I came here to get a siding permit, and I put new siding. And on the other wall that is cracked,
Put siding over the top?
no, the concrete block, all the wall, it had brick, so we had to tear it down, the whole, because that brick, it was just like cracking. So I had to take.
The exterior, where it fell over the sidewalk or wherever it fell?
Yes.
What was behind that brick?
Well, it's probably not.
It was
The wall is probably not.
the wood original siding.
Yeah, it's probably the supports go this way. Sure.
There's some major structural foundation issues which is causing that brick
No, we have to.
to come off from the property.
So what I want to eventually do is fix the major problem in the basement. And once that's fixed, I want to remove the other side brick wall and do it with new siding.
Okay, building department
Is
indicates.
there anyone living here?
Yes. My family, because
The building department indicates no permits have been pulled for siding.
the main cause that's destroying the wall, the brick wall, is because in the basement there's a foundation problem. So that's what I want to fix before.
So you have
Or I
a
do-
building with a collapsing foundation, collapsing exterior walls, and you have your family living there?
It's because it's not the whole, not the whole building. It's just a corner. Because I don't know what, since I bought the property, I don't know what was the problem. So I end up knowing that on the corner, there's a foundation problem that I need to put a new wall. Like, once I put that wall, I think everything should be
Who's
fine.
doing this work?
No, right now I haven't,
Who's actually doing the work? Because it doesn't look like it's done right. Looking at that front wall that's put on there, you got a big void between it and the sidewall. They should be connected together.
oh yeah.
Water and stuff getting in there.
Yeah, because the guy that put the siding, he put that board, and he said, once we go to the other wall, that's gonna be covered.
Is that load-bearing vinyl siding?
Chris, Mr. Cook, you guys have no permits pulled for the siding work?
No permits are indicated on mine. I always send the building
We would
department.
have approved that kind of repair there.
No.
Looking at what was done.
All I did was put siding, like, because I couldn't just leave when the brick wall fell,
Yeah, enter.
I had to put siding so the water wouldn't rot the,
Yeah, but what's behind, what was behind the brick? Is there a block wall there?
No,
Or is there
it-
a frame wall?
a frame wall. A frame wall
Okay,
with
why didn't you just put
siding.
the brick back up? You could have knocked the brick down, cleaned it all off, bought a few new brick and put it back up, which would have been the correct way of doing it, because now you got a brick wall on the side, you got a vinyl siding on the front, and there's no connection between them. It doesn't, it's not done right.
And eventually, I want to take that whole brick wall, I just want to bring it down and make it siding. Have siding,
Mr. President, eventually I'd like to get back to the same weight I was in high school, but the fact that I keep eating candy is keeping me from doing that. The fact that he's not making any substantial repairs is keeping this from being repaired. This whole front is gonna fall off like a bad Hollywood Western set and land in the street.
yeah, the brick, that's why I want to get a permit, fix the foundation, and then fix the wall, put the new siding, destroy the brick, put new siding, and that's pretty much it.
Let him, if he wants to meet with code enforcement, figure out some way of fixing it right.
Giddy up.
All right,
I'd like to make a motion that we authorize the demolition order.
okay.
If you want to go meet with them and come up with a plan and a contractor that knows what he's doing, that's up to you, but you're going to need to move quickly now because there's going to be a demolition order on the property.
There's been a motion to enter the findings and orders. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Mr. President, are we going to enter the order but stay it for a period of time or just?
No,
First,
just
okay,
enter it.
enter order and bid. Thank you.
So what should I do next?
Meet with code enforcement and come up with a plan quickly.
Because I
You
have
might want to wait till after the meeting and see if you can get in to see them.
because I have a lot of people who want to help me once I hired a licensed
Hopefully not the guy that
foundation.
did the front, because I don't think he knows what he's doing.
No, the guy, he only puts, siding, that was all.
You need to talk to the building department or code enforcement after the meeting.
5730 Northcott.
Mr. President, on this matter, Attorney Tim Coe was here. They have a quiet title action which has a trial on October 18th, 2013. They are going to start cleaning up the property, and I agreed to continue this till January 30th, 2014.
Make a motion that we continue this to January 30th, 2014.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. 6804 Parish.
Mr. President, Attorney Jamie Driscoll was here. He represents the tax sale purchaser. It is going to be continued till January 30th, 2014, under the conditions that he gets an inspection between now and then from Kurt Cook.
Is there a motion to continue?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 951 Reese.
All right, Mr. President, I don't know if anybody's here for 951 Reese.
Is anybody up here for 951 Reese?
Here's the deal. This is one of those, the owner is Christine Cosme, okay, and I had sent her a letter. She's going to get the deed. Okay, here's the thing. She bought the property on tax sale, and I said she has to get an inspection. She says, I can't have the inspection unless I get the tax deed. And I said, well, why don't you get the tax deed? Well, I don't want to get the tax deed until I know what kind of work has to be done on it. So we're caught in the Mobius band of logic on this property, and I would ask that you just enter the order to demolish. So basically, she won't try to get it fixed until she knows what's wrong with it. She can't know what's wrong with it until she agrees to own it.
Is there a motion to enter the findings in order?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. 5 Rimbach.
Good morning, Robert Sorge for Jim Hohenberger. Has opportunity to talk to him today. We've talked about this property. He's not gonna dispute that the property needs to be torn down at this point in time, so.
Ms. Cantor, do we have a order to demolish entered on this property?
I believe so, Mr. President.
Well, I'm discussing that with him still, but yeah. So I will get into contact with your office regarding that if that's okay.
Hang on, I do believe this was previously ordered demolished.
It was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was stayed. Has it been bid? It hasn't been
That's
bid
what I'm
yet.
trying to see if it's been. Mr. President, this property was ordered demolished and recorded on July the 10th, 2013, so it might not have been bid yet. We can proceed to bid it out, though.
Make a motion that we order the building department to bid and demolish the property.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. 7243 State Line.
Again, Robert Sorge, the owner's here also. This is the exact opposite of the last one. We don't want this building torn down. We just heard this morning that there's a problem with the pool too that we want to take care of. There's a pool that needs to be secured, and we want to take care of that on the property. It's not been an issue up until this point in time, but Ms. Kantar advised us of that. This is a strange property. It sits right on the basin, the Little Cal Basin there that they built, and it had a sewer line. Has 2 sewer lines. It's got a sanitary sewer that runs underneath another house on Forest Avenue out to the street. And it's got, it was never, we got the diagram here, it was never it was never separately connected to the sewer system when they put the new sewer system in. This was a while back. So there's a sewer system, the sanitary sewer system that runs from the house, underneath the house on Forest and then to the street. That needs attention with a clean out put in or something. But the main problem is the storm sewer. The storm sewer used to run back through the backyard and into the river and into the Little Cal until they put the pilings in. I think this is all right, correct? And they put they put the pilings in, and it's never been connected to a storm sewer system. It needs to be connected to a storm sewer system. She wants to do that. It's a 300-foot run. It's going to be tens of thousands of dollars to get it done. Plumbers have been out to look at it. We've provided pictures. I mean, we've got diagrams, we've got a plan, but we paid for an inspection. I don't think, we haven't had it inspected.
It is on my list to be scheduled, but it has not yet been scheduled.
But they want us to get the storm sewer situation fixed up, and then we can work. The house is in fairly decent shape. I don't think the house is of major concern. It's just the sewer system is what we need to get corrected. And I'm asking for some additional time. She wants to get it done, but she wants to get it done before the cold weather gets here. I mean, we want to get this thing done, but we have to figure out exactly how it's going to. We need to talk to Mr. Novak and figure out exactly how we can get this hooked into the system.
So presently the house has no sewer.
It has one that's probably cut off at the end. Yes, there's a.
I've heard all kind of mysterious stories about a sewer to Forest Avenue. Nobody's got an easement. Nobody knows where it is. There's no connection. So I don't.
Well, there was a videotape done, but it ran through, but not all the way because it's such a long run underneath another house and everything. The videotape doesn't.
The house, because the original story was it went under landscaping.
No. The storm sewer goes.
Shares the sewer with another house?
It does.
Well, is that house not connected either?
That house is connected.
So then.
They have a very slow sewer. That's sanitary sewer. I don't think there's any sanitary backup in this house at all. I think there's only a storm sewer.
We think the sewer out to the river actually was the sanitary sewer, which was an illegal discharge, because that's
not
in
true.
That neighborhood?
That's not true.
Is anybody living in this house currently?
No, there isn't. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think is there any power to the house?
Yes. Is there power?
Yes,
Yeah.
we have electronic permit away.
The house is in excellent condition. I mean, they took care of all. They take care of the outside of the property. There was a broken window. It was fixed. A patio door. It was fixed. Boarded up the same day to keep it safe. The area safe.
Unfortunately, we do have some conflicting testimony from some of the neighbors who have submitted written letters to the board expressing their disdain at the condition of the property, specifically the swimming pool that has been unkempt for the entire summer.
Which we just heard about today. Today we just heard about that. We just heard about that today. I think you received the letter yesterday. And it will be immediately addressed.
I mean, if the board wishes, we could enter the order to demolish, but stay it until January 30th to give her time to, fish or cut bait. She has owned this property for a couple of years.
I don't. We were here on July. We have letters to the building department in July and August. We've consistently been trying to take care of this problem. We've been trying to get a permit, trying to get an inspection. We've been had plumbers out to the property. It's not a matter of fish and cut bait. We have consistently been in contact with people trying to get something accomplished on this. We're working on it on an almost daily basis to get this done. Just ask if you just give us until the next hearing, we will come back and we'll have better news for what's happened here. But I don't believe that there's cause to enter a demolition order at this point in time because we have done everything that the board's asked us to do.
Licensed plumbers that have been going
Yes,
out there?
yes.
Somebody was out there pumping
That was
sewage into the river.
one day she hired
over
somebody.
the levee and damaged the levee.
Taken care of immediately as soon as it was brought to our attention. It was people that went out there and just to pump the water out of the basement, and that was all on their own accord. And it was addressed. We were advised of it that day, and addressed. Those people have not been back out to the property.
How much water was in the basement?
There was about 6 inches of water in the basement.
Mr. Cook, you got anything?
I do have pictures of the pumping incident, if it makes any difference. You can see the house in the picture.
That 6 inches of water washed away that much lead?
I've been down there. It's never been more than 6 inches of water down there, I don't believe, so.
You don't own it. You the owner?
Yeah,
How much water is in the basement?
it's about 6 inch, because the NEPSCO, they accidentally, we consistently pay the NEPSCO bill, but they accidentally remove the meter. So inside no electricity, the water back up, the sump pump not working. As long as I found that they put a meter back, and then we don't have any water problem. And I asked people pour the water to the swimming pool, so they sometimes they maybe do shortcut.
Yeah.
I just,
They were pumping it out they were pumping the basement out to the swimming pool just to clean out the basement. And then they, on their own, decided that they would pump it into the river. But that
And
was a
also-
one-time incident, a one-time thing, it was correct.
And also no sign on the level saying they don't pump or something, so maybe they do that. I was
They
not
didn't
there.
know.
I was not on site.
The problem, Mr. Sorge, is this, your client seems to be lax on maintaining her property until somebody says it's in disrepair.
Absolutely not. That is absolutely untrue.
Did you maintain the swimming pool or have contract with the swimming pool company to maintain the pool over the summer?
Yeah, they give me the estimate of how to fix a swimming pool. It's about $7,000. I do have this.
You've owned the home for a few years.
We never heard any problem about a
we
swimming
never
pool
have
till
any
today.
problem for swimming pool until today. But I tried to fix the swimming pool, so I do got some contract that they give me the fix the budget like $7,000 to do it. You know.
I think my point is that instead of being proactive, knowing I have a swimming pool in disrepair and ensuring that it's not a breeding ground for mosquitoes all summer long, you waited until you heard from your neighbors that there was a problem, and now you're saying I'm going to address the problem.
I either tear down, that's okay. I just if you like tear down the swimming pool, I tear down. You know.
Well,
Or
I think
fix
we need
it.
to be a little more
$7,000
proactive with the
fix it.
property. You know, we have neighbors that are complaining to the city about the
As of
property.
yesterday, we never heard any complaints from any neighbors until yesterday. We have a meeting with one of the neighbors that the sewer goes underneath their property. There's a meeting set up on Monday next week in order to address this, to get the sewer problem corrected.
Mr. President, Janet Vanez is also here for this property and just wants to have a couple seconds before it's time to address.
Hi, I'm Janet Vanez, Councilwoman at Large. I have had constant communication from this neighborhood about the condition of the property, the pool. It's, from what I understand, it's been years that the whole sewer issue has been debated. The pool had dead animals. I have pictures from the neighborhood, from the neighbors, and I ask you, ma'am, would you want to live next door to this property?
No.
The people in this neighborhood do not want to live next door to this property. It has been bounced around from hearing to hearing, from the sewer issue, now it's the pool. And don't tell me you didn't know about it. You had to know that the pool was not in working order. If it was in working order, you'd be swimming in there this summer. I respectfully ask for the board to affirm demolition of this property for the quality of life of our neighbors in that neighborhood. Thank you very much.
Doesn't matter to me.
We will resolve the pool issue immediately. We're gonna fill in the pool or whatever. Everything else, we have been proactive. I have my file here. I've got a list of emails consistently sent to the building department asking and trying to be proactive on this property. There's been no non-proactivity from our point of view. Any delay has been caused by the city and not by this person. And it's not a $30,000 house. It's a $30,000 job we got to get done to the property that she's willing to put into the city. It's part of the tax base of the city. It's a $150,000 house probably. When we get the sewer repair completed, which we have been proactive on, we have estimates, you see from the drawings, I think if they've seen those pictures, the plumbers have been out there. We were just trying to determine which way we have to run the sewer and find out which way it needs to run in order to get this done.
Chris, is this the first time it's been on the demo list?
Oh, no, well, it's the first time it's been on the demolition list, but this has been continued several months.
Okay. Mr. Cook?
The property was rented out in operating condition and rented out until early this year or in the end of last year anyway.
Mr.
It's not
Cook, I'm
been
sure
vacant
you're
property.
familiar. Is the yard fenced in with the swimming pool?
Easy access.
All right. I'd like to make a motion that we order the building department to bid and demolish the property, but stay it until November the 7th.
I'll second that motion.
December, no.
December 7th?
November 7th?
November 7th.
There's been a motion to enter an order to demolish or repair, the demolition to be stayed until November 7th. Any other discussion? That'll give your client 2 months or 6 weeks.
We've actually had many more months than that and been unable to work on the property because we were unable to get any action and assistance from the city. We've had many more. So when you give us a month or 2 months to work on this property and we can't get assistance from the city, that makes it difficult.
Out of curiosity, how long do you know
Stay in.
the sewer problem was there? 5 months? 5 months ago, I said, fix the sewer problem, we'll work on everything.
But hasn't
All I've had in 5 months is 20 or 30 emails and 20 or 30 phone calls.
Did she not
saying
send,
that we're planning on doing something.
Mr. Cook, did she send you the videotape?
No plan. I saw a video of a blocked sewer line that led underneath the property on Forest Avenue. Now, you can either fix the sewer line or tear the house down. That's what I told you and your client 5 months ago. That's what I'm saying now. You need proper sanitary and storm sewer lines there. Well, it's 300 feet, I can't afford it. Not my fault. Do not blame me because your property doesn't have proper sanitary or storm lines. Fix it. All you gotta do.
This property owner's been before the sanitary district a year and a half ago.
Yes.
The same issue.
Yes.
It's also a safety factor with the swimming pool not being fenced in.
I was in the house several years ago when they were remodeling it.
There's no water in it.
Even worse.
The house itself is not bad. The farm right up is not bad.
The water is there, the water
It doesn't make
comes,
sense to do it.
the water.
I'd ask that if you enter that order, that the stay be put off until January. There's a lot of work that needs to be
You've
done.
had it for a while, November 7th.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
The next one on the agenda is 5554 Walter House and Garage. Is anybody here on 5554 Walter? All right, Mr. President, this matter had been previously continued because somebody had come in and said they were going to fix it. Their name is Irene Botello, 5525 Claude. I sent her a letter on July 1st saying that she has to get an inspection and enter a agreement to rehabilitate. No agreement to rehabilitate's been done, no inspection's been performed, and the house has not been repaired. I'm going to bring pictures up there to show you and give you a order to demolish the property.
Nobody here?
Hold on. Coming up.
This is already put out the bid or
No, no, this one has, I mean, like I said, we had somebody here, and they said they wanted to fix it. Of course, somebody, another person does what they say.
Councilman Hicks, you got something?
Just want to see the picture. She said she.
Oh, I'm
had
so sorry.
That's okay, I can wait. You need another attorney to help you then.
That costs too much.
This what?
A lot of work.
I know it. Is anybody living here? It says no trespassing. I'm sure not. The water on or anything? No.
The garage looks shot. The house actually, depending on what the inside looks like, the outside actually doesn't look too bad. Maybe we'll get them to move if we issue the demolition order.
The water's been off since May 6, 2011, so it's been without running water for more than 2 years.
Is the owner resting on the quad, you said?
No, I sent her a letter to the address she had provided saying, this is what you said when you asked for continuance last month. She didn't do anything, she doesn't appear today. I said, I can look it up, but I don't.
No, I'm just repeating.
Yeah. I only have the current title policy for the property.
I'd like to make a motion that we order the building department to bid and demolish the property.
And I'll concur with your recommendation. Those in favor say aye. Aye. 5606 Walter.
All right, on 5606 Walter, Mr. President, we have previously entered an order to demolish. I did send a reminder letter to Michael Wiersma on Cleveland on July 1st about the agreement to rehabilitate and the inspection. Kurt Cook has indicated there is an inspection that has been paid for, and they're just trying to schedule it. So we can continue this matter till January 30th to see if the agreement to rehabilitate is entered. If not, we can proceed forward to bid and demolish.
I'd like to make a motion that we continue this to January 30th.
Are you the property owner?
I'm the property owner.
Did you want to make a comment or anything?
I have the first inspection I have, and like I said, I've been waiting to hear from someone to come out to do the second inspection. Repairs have been made to the property. It is totally livable right now.
Until January 30th, okay. Hopefully in the meantime, you'll get a hold of somebody that you need to get a hold of.
Okay, I'll second the motion.
All in favor? Motion carries. 636 Willow.
Mr. President, Mr. Benaziac is here on that matter.
That's on January what now?
Oh, I'm sorry, January 30th, you'll get a letter.
January.
January 30th, 2014.
All
Mr.
right.
Benaziac is here, he needs to call for a final inspection.
Thank you.
This was more of a cosmetic and a structural issue, the house next to it burned, and this one was damaged in the process, and so it's mostly cosmetic work, and they're gonna call for a final inspection between now and January 30th.
Motion that we continue to January 30th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thus concludes our demolition hearings. Item N, we have a hearing on the business license denial for 5 Points Motors.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Carr?
Yes, sir, I am.
Mr. Carr, your license was denied to do business in the city of Hammond,
Yes, sir.
and you're appealing that denial.
Yes, sir.
This is your opportunity to explain to the board why you're appealing that denial.
Well, I had a situation when I was a youngster, and I believe, I don't know my background, I don't know why I was denied. I was just wondering if it had anything to do when I was a kid. I mean, I had some situations when I was younger, you know, but I don't understand why I was denied, and so that's why I'm basically here.
You're denied because there's an ordinance in the city of Hammond that prohibits convicted felons from obtaining business licenses. So apparently at some point you were a convicted felon.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
How long ago was that?
1991.
Oh, God. Since you graduated from college. It's like 25 years ago. Have you been leading a straight and law-abiding license then?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently employed?
Yes.
Have you had any negative contacts with the law since 1990?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if there's any evidence of illegal conduct involved with the auto dealership or selling cars without the right tags or get a junk tag and then switch them, anything like that, you understand you'll lose your business license and be subject to criminal prosecution.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the board's pleasure, Mr. President?
My question is, where's the Five Points Motors gonna be located?
No, see, that's one of those state dealership licenses, they just need an Indiana address. There's not gonna physically be the sale of cars out of that location, it's so they can engage in the wholesale dealership of cars. However, we still do the same requirements because there is a common practice of buying a junk or burned up car, taking the VIN off of that car, putting it on another car, switching it, and sending it out of the country. It's a really big business.
52 Wildwood.
No.
252 Wildwood. I know what the building is. Are you renting like a room with a telephone in it?
Yes, sir.
And are you physically going to be located in the city of Hampton, you personally?
Yes, sir, yes, I am.
Okay, so the address we have for you is the St. Louis, Missouri address?
Yes.
Is that an old address?
No, that's where I'm originally from, and when I was getting my license, that's where I filled out, but now my address here, well, not here in Chicago, is 6814 South Jeffrey, Apartment B. I didn't have my ID on me to show you that. My girl is pregnant, and her family is from Missouri, and she doesn't want to leave yet, so that's why, you know.
But if she decides to leave, does that mean you're going with her in the building?
No, she's going to come with me.
Oh, okay.
I mean, hopefully, yeah.
Are you not employing any other people? It's just you?
Just me at the moment, yes, sir.
What do you mean at the moment?
Well, I mean, I'm be freshly new and getting new to the business, and I want to make sure I know what I'm doing before I start employing anyone else.
And you're not going to have any used cars laying around 252 Wildwood outside in the...
I mean, besides, yes, like the ones I will be picking up from the auction, maybe one or two, maybe. Where'd you graduate from? Oh. Don't say you're old.
When you pick up a car from the auction, what do you do about plates?
Excuse me, sir?
Pardon?
I didn't hear you. What was your question?
When you pick up a car at the auction, what do you do about license plates? Because you can't park an unlicensed vehicle.
Well, once I'm granted my license, I would have dealer license.
Temporary dealer plates?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion that we let him get the business license on a one-year probationary period.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? Mr. Carr, we're granting you a probationary license for 1 year. You'll still have to renew your business license every year. However, if there's any hiccups at your location, if the police happen to find a stolen vehicle there, if there's complaints from neighbors that there's strange activity going on there, your license may be revoked. As a matter of fact, on the probationary period, it most likely will get revoked.
Yes, sir.
So, on that note, all in favor? Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
We'll send you our findings, our order. You can bring that to the controller's office, and they'll then issue your license to you.
Okay, so what do I have to bring again?
Actually, you know what? We can take care of it.
Okay.
The only problem is, you know what? I'm going to need a good address for you. Otherwise, your license is going to either get sent to the Prince Drive address.
That's fine. That's fine. Oh, hello? Hello? That's fine. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Carr.
Thank you.
Item O, 6648 Alexander.
Good morning. This is for the removal of a basement bedroom in a rental property. It has been removed. I verified it.
Is there a motion to enter the findings in order?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item P, 1010 Hoffman.
I believe this was continued by Attorney Vosti a couple weeks ago.
This used to be a different attorney, and then that attorney withdrew, and it became Attorney Vosti, and he continued it. I can't recall the date. Sometime in October.
This is Mr. Vosti's property?
No, it's his client's property.
That's what I mean. But we noticed Attorney Benaziac.
Right, who withdrew? So did Mr. Benaziac get the notice of the continuance?
Yes.
Okay, we need to send it to Mr. Vosti. Benasiak is withdrawn.
Okay.
What was the continued date?
Today.
No, okay. We
But,
can-
continued January 30th?
No, this isn't a demo, this is just, well, we could, yeah, January 30th. Let's just do that.
Okay. Very good. Correct. Item Q, 39 Carroll.
Good morning, again. In this situation, the property was sold at sheriff's sale. Wells Fargo Bank was the successful bidder at the sale. They are in the process of trying to correct the violations. This was a previous, it had been converted into a multi-unit apartment building. Unfortunately, the insurer, FHA, on this property has told Wells Fargo it's their responsibility to pay it. And so the bank is in the process of getting the bids approved to get the repairs made, so we just need additional time.
How much?
I don't know, how often are you here?
We're here every Thursday. We only do demos 4 times a year.
Okay.
So it's not a demo. Any Thursday is good for you.
Can I just have 2 months so that way we're not running into it?
It's not Thanksgiving Thursday.
November 21st?
That'll work.
That's the week before Thanksgiving.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Also the week before my birthday. Buy me something nice.
I'll bring a cake.
All right. 4610 Pine.
Mr. President, we're going to continue that one until January the 30th.
We have rental registration hearing requests for 3 properties. Do you have a date, Mr. Smith? 3 weeks. October 17th for rental registration hearings. Item T, we have correspondence from Gary Gleason requesting a 90-day trial period for a stop sign on Maywood and for a no parking this side of street sign on 171st Street.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve both of Gary's requests.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item U, we have a request for a parade route.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the parade route.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item V, we have a request for resident-only parking sign on Cedar Avenue.
Make a motion that be referred to Gary Gleason.
Actually, I think it's just a thank you note. I think it's just a thank you note for.
It is a thank you. We already did put residential
Already
signs
done it?
up, and she was writing to say thanks.
We should note this as your welcome. Just make a motion for your welcome.
Item W, correspondence from Councilman Higgs requesting additional lighting in the alley on Ames and Conkey.
Motion to refer that to the engineering department.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item X, garage sale permit submitted for approval. Here's another one.
Make a motion that we approve all of the garage sales requests.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item 6, matters from board members.
I have 2 matters. We're going to be rebidding the athletic complex at Dowling Park on October 24th with advertising dates of October 3rd and October 10th. I'd like the board to approve those dates.
You already made the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
The second item I have is a letter from Police Chief Brian Miller, respectfully requesting Officer Gudurevs receive FTO specialty pay on August 15th of 2013. So that's retroactive, right?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Any new or old business? Public expression. The meeting is now open to the public. Anybody from the public wishing to address the board, now is your opportunity to do so.
Good morning. Recently, had an opportunity, I guess 2 days ago, to go through my district and identify some additional properties that I've been submitting lists to. And so I'm just gonna go over a few of them that need to be demoed, that has been, for some reason, not identified, and that's 1052. I think 1052 Ames, the corner house. And let me make sure here. I got them written down here. Okay, we had 935 and 937. 935 is on there, but 937.
October 17th.
Okay, October 17th for that particular property. And then there is a property, 1315 Fields and 1325 are in deplorable condition, and the neighbors are complaining because they got new homes on the block, and they're saying their property value is going down. So if we can extradite those, it would be greatly appreciated.
Where would you like? Do you have a correspondence for us with those on there?
Yeah, I can give you a copy of the one that was initially submitted.
New homes on the 1300 block of Fields?
Yeah. Down on the corner, and they're doing construction on Woolard that coincides with Fields, and in the back companies are sitting in the back of there. One of the buildings is vacant, of course, but there are 2 new homes. Actually, there are 1, 2, 3 new homes that sit there. So
What were those 2 addresses, Councilman Higgs?
1315 Fields, 1325 Fields.
Is there a motion to refer those 2 addresses to the building department for demolition inspections? All in favor? Aye.
And also, I'm just requesting that the ornamental lighting be placed on the 5600 block of Maywood. I made that request to Stan so we can get that completed for this year. Got some problems with some drug activity and the neighbors are complaining. So if we can get that extradited, it would be greatly appreciated as well. And also, 1130 Highland is vacant and has been vacant for a number of years. Needs to be identified as a demo property, or either the owner needs to fix it up and rent it out. And also there is a property, a green house that's been vacant for 15 years in the 800 block of Ames Street that me and Mr. Kearney have identified, and he'll probably go over the list as well of the number of properties we have in my district that need to be demoed. So that's my request this morning, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Councilman Higgs. Anyone else for public expression wishing to address the board?
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.